Coming up on today's show of Atlanta Falcons Today by Chat Sports, we're going to break down Mel Kiper Jr.'s latest NFL mock draft. Who does he have the Falcons taking? Plus, some more Falcons draft news and rumors. A lot to get to here on today's show. And we kind of had a tough meeting with the bosses this morning, producer Rolly and I. And they basically said, look, if we don't get 300 likes or more on today's video, we got to delete the channel. So Falcons fans, rise up. I don't want this to be the last time we talk to you here on Falcons Today. Hit that like button, or I guess we'll see you down the road. I don't know. So like the video if you love the Atlanta Falcons and want to continue to enjoy this channel. All right, here's Kuiper's Mock Draft 2.0. Yeah, Bryce Young, number 1 overall to the Texans as they trade up. Colts trade up to 2 as the Bears trade down twice. They get C.J. Stroud. Will Anderson Jr. goes 3rd. Jalen Carter to the Bears, and, that was before the Jalen Carter news. Will Levis goes 5th to Carolina. Christian Gonzalez, you're like, okay, maybe it gets a little weird there. Devin Witherspoon. And then the Falcons select, drum roll, please, Will McDonald IV? Mel Kiper is going with the Iowa State edge rusher, producer Rolly's favorite college team, Iowa State, Will McDonald IV, and WTF. That is shocking to say the least. This pick is bad. Mel Kiper might be cooked. I'm not going to lie. Look, and full disclosure, I actually like Will McDonald. I think in like the 2nd, 3rd round, he could be a good edge rusher, but top 10? Here's what Kuiper had to say. Let's see how he explains himself here. Falcons fans should be familiar with their pass rushing woes from 2022. Oh, we're familiar. Just 21 sacks, 2nd worst in the league, but they might not know much about McDonald. You're right, because he's not a top 10 prospect. That should change because McDonald dominated at the Senior Bowl and has moved into top 10 consideration. McDonald, who had 34 sacks in college, including 2 seasons with more than 10, is a speed rusher who flies around the edge to take down quarterbacks. At 241 pounds, he's not going to be a fit for every defense, but smart coordinators will stand him up and let him use his speed. McDonald had a down 2022 season with just 5 sacks, but the talent is there. He was unblockable at the Senior Bowl. First-year Atlanta defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen should covet an edge rusher here to get his unit back on track. The Falcons are another team that could be in the market for a quarterback, but like Las Vegas, they need a passer who can play early. I don't have one left on the board in this scenario. Now, before we break it down even further, grade the pick from Mel Kiper Jr. A, B, C, D, or F. I got to go F. And I actually like Will McDonald. Let me know what you guys think. You look at his stats this year, and Kuiper is right. Statistically, he did have a down year, which is 5 sacks, 7.5 tackles for loss. But I will say, too, Iowa State kind of misused him. They run a 3-down lineman set, and they tried to make him hand in the dirt guy. And in a 3-down lineman, your edge rusher's got to be like 280. He's 240. Again, I like Mel McDonald. He's a pretty solid prospect. But number 8 overall, like, what's going on here? Like, I don't think there's any chance he goes this high in the NFL draft. I don't think he's better than Tyree Wilson. I don't think he's better than Myles Murphy, although his production was probably better than Murphy's in college. But I don't see this at all. I haven't seen any other draft analyst have him this high. Now, he definitely helped his stock at the Senior Bowl. Like, he went from a 3rd, 4th round guy to probably like a 2nd round guy. But top 10, he would have to have an unbelievable combine for that to be the case. Now, you compare him to Tyree Wilson and Myles Murphy, who just have better measurables and overall athletic traits than Will McDonald IV, then it's just, I don't really see it. Now, Will McDonald has the most sacks in Big 12 history. Before 2022, he put up some crazy statistical numbers, but stats aside in itself, it just doesn't make sense whatsoever when it comes to Will McDonald when you're comparing him to Tyree Wilson, Myles Murphy, guys who were still on the board when Mel Kiper made this selection for Atlanta. This would be a big miss. I don't think this makes sense. Yes, he performed at Iowa State, but the upside of Tyree Wilson or Myles Murphy it isn't there. Like, if you want to trade down and draft him later on or something, okay, that's fine. We can talk, but you don't draft the 35th best player in the draft, top 10. Because you like them. Like, that's just not how this goes. So I don't think this will happen. I'm not a fan of this at all. Mel Kiper, I know he's getting up there. On his big board earlier this year, he got the two Byron Youngs mixed up. Maybe he's back at it with Will McDonald going to Atlanta. Now, Falcons fans, you guys should get this long sleeve shirt because it's on sale at chatsports.com/Falcons long sleeve. Go pick it up today. Tons of sizes available in stock. That link will be in the description and in the comments of today's video. Go represent the ATL with this sweet long sleeve shirt. More draft rumors here as Bleacher Report named Myles Murphy as the dream draft target for the Atlanta Falcons. This is more like it. And look, full disclosure, I do think Murphy could slide a little bit. There's been some reports of that. But if it's Myles Murphy or Will McDonald, I think I'm going Myles Murphy. Here's David Kenyon saying on this topic, sit back and watch an edge rusher fall Atlanta. While the rest of the league talks about Anderson, Carter, and quarterbacks, the Falcons are positioned nicely to snag a disruptive player, which they certainly need. Only the Bears, with 20 sacks, had fewer sacks than Atlanta with 21 last season. Myles Murphy reached 36.5 tackles for loss with 17.5 sacks in 3 seasons at Clemson. I don't think it's even a conversation when you're thinking about Myles Murphy versus Will McDonald. Let's just compare the two prospects. I mean, it's a couple of things to think about. Number one, size and strength, Myles Murphy. Two, overall career production would favor McDonald, but most recent season, Myles Murphy is definitely there. I think he's a better fit in this scheme for Atlanta. You're going to make Will McDonald a off-ball linebacker, which he hasn't really done. I think he has the traits to do that, but I just don't think anything really favors McDonald here when you're comparing these two prospects of McDonald and Murphy. Now, something to monitor is a lot of draft analysts, like I said, have Murphy slipping. Even Kuiper had Murphy going 20th overall, and hey, listen, maybe Murphy is a little rich at 8. But, again, you could trade down. Like, Will McDonald, I just can't get over that from Mel Kiper Jr. So, we'll see what happens. I think Atlanta's going to have some options. I do think they could be a trade-down team, which is intriguing to me. Hell, who knows? Maybe Jalen Carter slides a bit, and the Falcons are willing to gamble at number 8. I don't know. I think it's going to be fascinating to see how that all plays out as well. Subscribe to Falcons Today for the best Falcons draft coverage. When Mel Kiper looks fraudulent, we will call him out for it. So hit that sub button today. Let's continue to grow this channel. That way we can bring you guys more videos here on Atlanta Falcons Today by Chat Sports. Go ahead and subscribe right now. All right, we do have some updated Lamar Jackson next team odds if the Ravens were to trade him. So odds are starting to creep toward even for Atlanta, plus 250. And I do think if he does end up getting traded, the Falcons make the most sense. Jets, well, you don't want to go to the Jets. Bucks, I think they're going to blow it up and kind of rebuild this year. Raiders, is he a fit with Josh McDaniels? I don't really think so. Patriots would be interesting, but I think they're going to roll with Mac Jones this year. Look, the Falcons can continue to back Desmond Ridder, but if Lamar's available, you've got to consider it. I'm sorry. Like, I know some of you Falcons fans aren't a fan of that idea. They'd rather go with Ridder this year, but guys, the NFC South is horrible right now. If you get Lamar Jackson, you are instantly the favorites to win this division. You're a playoff team in 2023. That's just a fact. So if that move is there to be made, I'm certainly making it if I am the Atlanta Falcons. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. We'll probably have a draft tracker tomorrow, meetings tracker, as the Falcons are starting to meet with prospects out there in Indianapolis. So stay tuned for that. That'll be tomorrow's video. If we get 300 likes, I mean, could be on the hot seat to us as a channel if that doesn't happen. So like the video, subscribe. We'll see you next time here on Falcons Today.